Good morning. My name is Kevin Kelly. I am the president of Cleveland City Council. And tomorrow at our council meeting, we'll be introducing legislation to award $5 million to the Cleveland Food Bank for the efforts that it's undertaken during COVID. I think if there is one symbol of what COVID, the effects that it has had in our community, all you need to do is go down to the Muni lot when the food bank set up their operations and cars line up and people line up to get that. And if you look at who COVID's hurt, it really was people that were hurting before the pandemic hit. Let this ambulance pass or whatever. One second. When you see cars lined up in the Muni lot, when you see people that are waiting for just the very basic necessity of food, and you look at who stepped up to meet that challenge, it has been the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. They have stepped up in this crisis like nobody else and really understood that this has real human consequences. That's why I think it is just so important for the city to make sure that we acknowledge that we are going to help their cause and help them as they try to help other people. So I'm very, very proud to be here today to make this announcement. I'll turn the microphone over to Kristen, and she can tell you more about what the food bank is going to do.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Council President. I am, of course, as you can imagine, thrilled to be here today and so grateful to the City of Cleveland leadership for recognizing the needs in our community and for their long-term partnership with the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. You know, when we talk about what's been happening in our community, and we specifically talk about our drive-through distribution in the Muni lot, which is just one of many efforts put into place in response to this pandemic. You know, I can't say anything about the Muni lot without, frankly, thanking the City of Cleveland. When the pandemic first started, we saw the need for emergency food skyrocket. We tried to do the first drive-through distribution at our facility on Waterloo in the Collinwood neighborhood, and very quickly realized that we didn't have the space to accommodate the huge amount of need that we were seeing. And so I called City Hall, Darnell Brown, and asked if there was any way we could borrow the Muni lot for just a little while. And not only did the City of Cleveland make the Muni lot available to us, but they also provided traffic support. And we really thought this was going to be on a short-term basis. And the fact is, we are still in the Muni lot doing a drive-through distribution, thanks to the great partnership and support of the City of Cleveland, every Thursday afternoon. You know, I would have hoped and prayed that the need would be down by now. Last Thursday, we served 1,700 families. That's more than 5,000 people in one afternoon in this, you know, it's been almost a year and a half that we have been out there. So the City of Cleveland's partnership in every way for decades now has been absolutely extraordinary. And this investment, this leadership investment, is going to have an extraordinary impact for the partners and the clients that we serve. In response to the pandemic, in partnership with 1,000 program partners across the 6-county service area, we increased our food distribution by 9 million pounds of food in just 1 year. We served more than 100,000 new people year over year. More than 400,000 people total. And that included almost half of City of Cleveland residents. Almost half of City of Cleveland residents receive food from the food bank or one of our partner agencies. Almost 1 in 4 residents of our 6-county service area. You know, the fact is that COVID has had an enormous impact on the clients that we serve, on women, on low-wage workers, on people of color, and folks are really struggling to come back, and we're going to be busier for quite some time. Now, these dollars specifically are going to be used to help us expand our capacity. We started planning for more capacity back in 2018 as part of one of our strategic planning processes. We knew that at some point, if we continued increasing our distribution, we would run out of space at our facility. Of course, when COVID hit, our eventual need for more space became all the more urgent. We are out of room, completely out of room. Using off-site storage, renting trailers for refrigerated storage, and sometimes even forced to turn food away. We can't allow that to continue. And so our expansion projects have become urgent. Our timeline has been moved up in every imaginable way. And we are raising dollars for this project. This $5 million from the city of Cleveland is going to help us keep that project on track, propel it forward, and help us create the capacity we need, not only to provide more nutritious food in the future, but also to address the underlying issues of hunger in our community, something that I think we should all be able to get behind. So I just couldn't thank you enough for this wonderful news and for inviting me here today. This gift is going to have an extraordinary impact for our partner agencies and for the 400,000 clients a year we are all serving together. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Councilman Mike Palencer from Cleveland Ward 8. I want to thank the Council President, my colleagues, the administration for the support for the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. As Christian indicated, none of us would have ever imagined the pressure and the need that has been placed upon the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. Years ago, when I sponsored legislation and helped them to build the original complex in the Collinwood community, I would have never imagined, not for one moment, the number of families who would ultimately benefit from the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. Having volunteered there on some of the food distribution days, I saw it firsthand. When you see cars lined from the Muni Lot parking lot down the Marginal all the way to 55th and then down 55th, only reinforce the need that is in our Greater Cleveland community. So again, I want to thank the Food Bank Board. I want to thank the chairman of the Food Bank Board, Darnell Brown, my colleagues in the administration for supporting this wonderful, wonderful operation in our community. They are doing God's work daily, providing food for the needy and families that are under great stress. They are a wonderful, and I will tell you, I can't say enough good things about the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. They're one of the best organizations that I've ever had the pleasure to work with in my time in Cleveland City Council. So this is going to go a long way to complete. There are 3 phases to create the kind of facility that we have long needed in the Greater Cleveland area. And again, I want to thank you, Mr. President, Councilman Brancatelli, all my other colleagues, and again, the administration for supporting this wonderful effort. Go Cleveland Food Bank.
Happy that my colleague Tony Brancatelli was able to join us. I'd like to turn the mic over to Councilman Brancatelli.
Thank you very much, Council President. And this certainly fits the agenda of how these resources can be used and how important they are for impacting all the residents throughout our city. When we talk about the priorities that we see throughout our city, the food insecurities that we have are a critical need. And we're very excited to have Kristen and have her team backing us and supporting all the demands that we have in our communities. So I'm proud to be here today and proud to support this activity and looking forward to the expansion and growth of the demands that we have out there. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, everybody. I think we have clearly expressed our support for this great organization and the great work that they do. And while we're supporting this great work, I think we should all take a moment as we're considering this to remember who is it that is really suffering during COVID and who is stepping up to make sure that they're being helped. There's real people in our community that are suffering. There's real people that are experiencing need right now. And I think, again, while I know that there are many sites across the city, for me it was Muni Lot. It was seeing that traffic lined up at Muni Lot that really made this thing all too real for me. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Kristen, and your team for what you do. This is what we should be doing in Cleveland City Council and supporting great organizations like the Food Bank. So if there are any questions, we can take questions or we can go about our days. Yes.
RobinBoysCleveland.com. During At yesterday's finance meeting, it sounded like the administration hasn't yet shown their preliminary plan for spending this money. Has this received the blessing of the administration, or are you asking for this to be fit into that plan?
So this will be introduced tomorrow. The administration is aware, has been helpful, has been supportive, and you're correct, that hasn't happened. The preliminary plan has not been developed. So you may accuse me, you may accuse us of jumping the gun a little bit, but if I'm going to jump the gun for anybody, it's going to be for the Cleveland Food Bank. Anything else? Many thanks, and many thanks to the Greater Cleveland Food Bank for all the great work you do. All right, the end.